Ahoy hoy gang, if this is your first time with us, welcome, and if you're joining us from a previous video, hey, we love to see it, and I hope you're doing well. Yeah, yay, woohoo, let's go. We're live with the top 5 episodes of season 5, yeah. Alright, season 5 is okay. It was easy to find 5 episodes I enjoyed, showed they hadn't lost any steam or momentum, just you could tell things were changing. So what worked, what failed, what seaplane shenanigans will be curtailed. Gotta keep you on your toes. That was from the last season, and the last season intro was from this season. Ooh, wacky! Yeah, it's time to go live with the top 5 episodes of season 5. Number 5, Work Hard or Die Trying, Girl. It had to be on the list. You know it had to be on the list. I'm not mad about it. You're not mad about it. It's just here. And Work Hard or Die Trying, Girl is so special in the best possible way. I love it. I think it's a great example that they hadn't lost their groove, 5 seasons in at this point. They are going a little bit deeper into the, musical side of things, and they're still being creative with it. Also, the Carly Simon, surprise appearance at the end was incredible. That was a very odd thing to include, but I respect Bob's Burgers that much more because they took the time to include it. It's that attention to detail that makes these seasons so good. Again, first 6 seasons, pretty strong overall. And Work Hard or Die Trying, Girl was an episode where I actually liked Gene. I was actually kind of cheering for Gene's little underground performance. He had a great idea. Courtney wasn't even that bad. She was just sort of stuck along for the ride. And I appreciate that. I love this episode. I could come back to Work Hard or Die Trying, Girl easily every 3 months and never get bored of it. And I've seen this episode probably close to 15 times now. It's fun. It's got great writing. And imagine leading off right after the season finale of season 4 of Wharf Horse. You have to show you've still got it, to show that the show deserves to keep going. And I think this was a perfect example of why it shines so much. Number 4, Father of the Bob. I love me Christmas episodes, and I love me Christmas episodes about parents and children grieving in their own ways. Let's give it up for Bob and Big Bob. Bill Hader does a great job as Bob's dad, Big Bob. I love that Bob is technically Bob Jr. And it's, there is that ambiguity at first of whether or not Bob's mom just divorced his dad or if she died. And I think looking back at this episode with the context that we now have in the show, it hits that much stronger. How does Big Bob explain to Bob about his mom or spending time with his mom or why he doesn't want him to go? He's awkward. He doesn't know how to get his feelings across, but he's trying. He's trying to be a good dad. He always took care of Bob. Things may not have always been great, but he always tried to be there for him. And he did celebrate when his son got his own restaurant. He wanted him to do well. And I think it's a very important showcase to have that, familial tension, but also that love. They may not be great at showing their emotions, but they have them. And that's a very important line to walk and to balance on when you're doing a show like this. Bob having a on the rocks relationship with his dad is better than having nothing like in King of the Hill. There's at least something there to go from. Didn't need Gene's bean bath. It probably would have been higher on the list without Gene's bean bath and the whole B story as a whole. But there's such a warmth to this episode. There's such a magic to revisiting it that it feels like an episode I could rewatch again and again. Number 3, The Millenial Candidate. I love Jim Gaffigan. I'm just gonna get that right out of the way. I love Jim Gaffigan. Hot Pocket. I have grown up with Jim Gaffigan. I have looked up to Jim Gaffigan. I have seen him live so many times. So to see him in this show is amazing. And he does a perfect performance. I mean, just absolutely amazing as Henry. I mean, Millie is so good in this episode. I love everything about this. This is a perfect kids episode on top of having one of my favorite B stories of all time. Again, there's that board. There's the tropes. Chef at restaurant gets super awesome Japanese knife and brags about it and gets a little bit of a swollen head. Wonderful. Perfect. No notes. So then, of course, Teddy and Bob have a hammer v knife fight, and it's great. It's terrific. Everybody is their best selves in this episode. I love the scene when Teddy just takes the knife and starts bashing it with a hammer. It makes the heart feel so full. I love that episode so much. And the end, when Teddy's just singing the Wonder song, the doctors came from places just to see me. It's like, that's great. No notes. Just keep doing that. More episodes like this. And it showed that season 5 was so strong. Number 2, Midday Run. You know, I don't necessarily love a lot of Tina episodes, but the hall monitor episodes I like a little bit more than the rest of them. And I gotta say, I do really love Midday Run, and it did kind of sway me on Zeke. Because when I was first watching, I was like, I hate Zeke. Zeke is just kind of the worst, though, right? Can we all agree we all hate Zeke? Zeke, boo, hiss. But then you see it, and you're like, you know, I've been told that Zeke moves around a lot. Zeke doesn't have a lot in his life, and he's just trying to make his grandma smile by putting on a little mascot dance. And that's when it just kind of clicks with you that, like, Zeke's not a bully. Zeke's not trying to beat anybody down. He's living his best life. He's trying to be his best self. And yeah, he's got a little bit more energy than, you know, the average student, but he's a good guy at his heart. At his very core, he's not trying to lie to people or be deceitful. He's not scheming. He'll absolutely be the muscle for whatever you want to do, and he helps Tina and Louise, but he's also just his own guy going through his own troubles. And I don't know, there's an odd amount of respect for Zeke in this episode. They never try and dumb him down, which is so weird comparing it to, like, Not Without My Zeke later in the show. This was where they were willing to have a little bit of an emotional core while still building on the things you had seen in previous episodes. This plays off of Broadcast Wagstaff School News. This plays off of everything we've gotten to this point. And that's genius. Midday Run is just phenomenal. Number 1, Dawn of the Pack. And then there's the episode where Bob gets drunk and the family gets attacked by birds. It's perfect. It's great. I need more episodes like it from other shows that have the balls to actually make something like this. This is creative. This is ingenious. I've seen it at least 18 times. It is one of my favorite episodes of Bob's Burgers because it came out of left field. Who would expect a birdemic in, you know, a Thanksgiving episode? Who would expect a Thanksgiving horror slasher with effectively a monster movie? And again, you get great Rudy. You have fantastic. Honestly, Andy and Ollie were great in this episode. You know, the Silverman sisters do a fantastic job as Andy and Ollie, but they actually really shine here. And you get more Mickey. What's not to love? Everybody loves Mickey. Every time I come back to this episode, I get all cozy. I usually put it on during the holidays, and I laugh. I have such a hearty and genuine laugh watching this episode. And just seeing Bob drunkenly dance and doing his bops and talking to everybody. He is just his best self. And I love it. I love this episode so much. It's so weird in all the right ways. Hey, ahoo, oh snap, we're live. Hey, that was my top 5 episodes of season 5. Anything you think I was right on, wrong on? What were your top 5 episodes of the season? bottom 5 episodes? Let me know in the comments below. And if you liked what you saw, make sure to like, subscribe, and tell your friends we're out here. Season 5 was great. I really enjoyed season 5. It lacked some of the dark comedy of the earlier seasons. It was definitely starting to be more family friendly, but it still had a lot of that dark charm that made the show so endearing to begin with. I don't know. Again, these early seasons, it was hard to come up with a top 5 because there's so many good picks. Anyway, that's going to do it for us here at the Lecture Hall. If you want to support the channel, consider joining our Patreon or membership programs today. $2 a month gets you special polls, posts, and even your name on this fancy list. Yeah! Like always, thank you all so much for watching. Stay strong, keep fighting that good fight, and remember, no matter what, you matter. Things will get better. A rising tide lifts all ships, and I can feel one hell of a wave coming. And we still got plenty of Merry Bobmas to go. You're not even in the thick of it yet. I lose my mind. Goodbye, everybody, and I'll see you all next time.